Good day, everyone. Thanks for taking your time out of your Wednesday to join Brian, Robert, Matt over at RothReady with Laura Johnson and I here at IAMS. My name is Jake Brunn. We're both Annuity Sales Director. Before I pass the screen on over to Brian, Robert, and Matt, I just want to, again, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. We're going to have a few polls throughout the webinar, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in that webinar questions box, and we're going to make sure that we get those answered for you today. The first thing that I want to highlight today is our commitment to delivering best in-class service for our agents. And one way that we do this is that you can always reach a live person during our business hours at 800-255-5055. We strive to answer that phone call with an IAMS employee with 2 rings or less. Our new producer builders, or for those of you who are new to us here at IAMS, these bonuses are available based on your production level and your first 180 days of contracting with us. We have great levels that you can qualify at, and as you can see inside each level, there are some great options for you. We've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available. If you would like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to achieve that next level, don't hesitate to give us a call and talk to your sales director. Another business builders program we provide for all of our agents is our referred producer program. I see a couple advisors on with us today. They've already taken advantage of this program. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field, and that one of the best leads we could ever obtain is a referral from one of our valued producers. This is why we want to make it worth your while to refer a producer to us. When you do refer a producer to us and they get contracted, we're going to cut you a $50 thank you check. And then where the real money comes in is as your referral rights business, you're going to receive an override on that business. Our ownership team, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, they sign checks for thousands of dollars every quarter. And with that being said, if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with our team, please type their information into that questions box, or you can email me or Laura with that information. And then below that, you're going to see our marketing reimbursement program, which is our most popular program that we offer. For every 100 grand of FIA premium, you're going to get $100 in your marketing reimbursement account. And then why this is so popular for our advisors is that we truly do consider this to be your money. You're going to have the flexibility on what services, when, and who use these funds with. It is your marketing reimbursement, so we're not going to tell you what vendors you have to use. We do recommend vendors that we partner with and leverage reduced rates and preferred service. We also have our creative team to create a marketing strategy and provide in-house services. If you'd like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account, or would like to have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give your sales director a call at our office, and we'd love to speak with you about that. We have a full back office support team, and this is another way that we add value to your business. This is the core of IAMS and how Charles Hearing founded us years ago in 1986. We want to help the independent advisor work smarter, not harder. So we're going to do that with our great business building tools and resources. And then, of course, advanced case design assistance. Life and annuity quotes is an area that we assist with. We're going to get you those illustrations that you request within 24 hours. And then just to be completely honest, you're going to get those much quicker, usually within the hour. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business teams. Mackenzie is the head of the annuity team, and then Michelle is the head of the life side. So they both have fantastic teams who work tirelessly every single day to help you get commission quicker. We're going to scrub your applications, submit them on your behalf, and do the administrative tracking and get you updates on those cases as needed. We do this to ensure that you get commissioned as quickly as possible. So this is a service that we provide to all of our valued producers here at IAMS, and how we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients, while our team handles that back office support for you. Our website, also known as our IAMS portal, which you can find at IAMSinc.com, it's a great tool for all of our producers to use, and another reason to work with us here at IAMS. Once you are contracted, you're going to have full access to everything that you see on this slide and so much more at IAMSinc.com. If you haven't registered for the website, it's very simple to do so. So when we're done with this call, you can go ahead and create an account. We'd love to see you on there. There's a lot of great resources that are now available to you, including illustration tools, online forums, product grids, and product news. Industry updates are out there for you as well. You're going to see all of our incentive trips, which later in the slides today, you're going to see a few of the incentive trips that are coming up, but all of those updates are out there. Then we have Annuity Rate Watch. You can see all of our up-to-date carriers and product grids, and then a full list of sales resource libraries, so any illustration and calculators, etc. Technology is where the industry is going, and Luma is our newest partnership to streamline the application process. Most of our carriers are now on the Luma Firelight eApp platform, so you can go to one site to submit all of your business. Some carriers are going to eApp only for some of their product lines, and will also offer extra comp just for utilizing the eApp platform. So make sure you ask your sales director before you submit a paper app if you can earn more just by doing the eApp. We do have a full in-house creative team. We can help you help your practice, and a lot of the items are turnkey and available for you. Many of our sales resources are white labeled, so we can simply impose your contact information and your business logos onto it. And then speaking of logos, agency solutions is an area of expertise for our team. So if you haven't created a full customized brand for you and your agency, we can certainly help out with that. This is going to assist you with name recognition, which grows your natural market organically. And then lastly on this page, digital marketing solutions are another very popular topic here at IAMS. We can help you with websites, social media marketing, email marketing, and a lot more. The internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for their information. Just making sure that you're accessible and represented in those marketing lanes is very beneficial to growing your business. So reach out to myself, Laura, or another one of our sales directors here at IAMS when the webinar concludes to talk to them about how you can access our IAMS Creative, and we can certainly get that ball rolling for you. We also offer a complimentary marketing analysis for all of our agents looking to explore new sales ideas and programs. Whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned producer, this free assessment can help you boost your business with insights on your website, digital presence, branding, and current marketing activities, as well as recommendations on trusted vendors for everything from lead generation to seminars and social content. So reach out to your sales director here at IAMS if you'd like to get one scheduled. And then speaking of that, I am going to launch our first poll of today, and this is, would you like to set up a marketing analysis? And into a little deeper dive, we're going to sit down with you, learn who you want to target, your current marketing activities, and then how you want to target them, and it allows us to put together a customized marketing plan just for your practice. So great way to learn new marketing strategies. And again, thank you everyone for your participation. We greatly appreciate it, and it gives us an idea on who to reach out to if you would like to set one of these up. And I'll keep it going for about another 5 seconds. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your participation. We are going to have 2 more until this webinar concludes, so be ready when those launch. All right, so moving on, we founded IAMS Wealth several years ago, and what we've done is grow this division of IAMS very organically. We've helped advisors become IARs and pass the Series 65 at a very successful clip. Once you have registered, IAMS Wealth will bring great value to your practice with an incredibly competitive fee structure for both you and your clientele. We have great technology and a great investment platform, so this has been a major growth sector of our business, and assets under management could be a great major growth sector for your business as well. And then speaking on incentive trips, which I touched a little bit on earlier, which you can find on our IAMS website, we're gearing up for our next incentive trip to the Dominican Republic. It's going to be with Athene March 22nd through the 25th of 2026. So all of your Athene annuity premium written through IAMS now through December 31st, so we have about a little less than 4 more weeks of the year. They all count towards qualifying, and just 4 million points is going to punch a ticket for you and a guest. So give your sales director a call here for more details, and check your current point standings and how many more you're going to need until you can reach this incentive trip. And then talking about incentive trips again, here's the next one. This one's going to be in Park City, Utah. It's going to be with the carrier SILAC, and it's only $2 million in paid SILAC FIA premium, which is going to punch that ticket, and it's going on from now until April 30th of 2026. So you're going to have some more time to qualify, and it's just $2 million to get a full free trip. Fantastic trip. So if you would like, again, if you'd like more information, where you stand, how many more points you'd like or need to qualify for this, don't hesitate to give myself, Laura, a call, or any other sales director here at IAMS. And then lastly, we hold IAMS academies. These 3-day trainings are an excellent opportunity for all of our agents who are looking to new ways to grow their business, to explore new ways to grow their business. These all expense paid academies give you an opportunity to learn from top producers. We're going to go over marketing strategies that they have used to go from the bottom to the top producers in the industry. And it also gives you a chance to speak with your peers in the industry from all over the country. So I highly recommend that you do get registered. You are going to learn from top producers, going over their sales skills, how they became so successful. And it's another great way to learn new marketing strategies and how to incorporate them into your practice effectively. And then don't hesitate to follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the floor on over to Matt at RothReady. And again, thank you, everyone, for your partnership with RothReady. We certainly look forward to the continued relationship.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, we couldn't be more excited about being able to launch this with IAMS. Right. This is really a first look, from the advisor side of what we put together here in the Roth conversion space. So let me make sure, is everybody seeing that screen correctly? I would imagine so, but let's just want to double check.
I do not see it.
I don't see it, Matt.
Okay. How about now?
There we go. Now I see it.
There we go.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, all right. So jumping into it, we've got a really great team here. Rolling into that, we've got Robert Niche. You'll hear from him in a minute. He's been in the industry for a long time and just recently was the advisor that 5x'd his business in a very short amount of time, using this, really just a fraction of the solution that we've continued to build out. And we've got myself, Brian Lowry, and then we also collaborated with Cork Pitcher. You may recognize that name, in working through IAMS and some other solutions that he's brought to the table. So what we've got is really introducing it's a brand new Roth conversion platform that gives advisors a competitive edge to make more FIA sales, which obviously will translate into more income for you, in 2026. We've got powerful. We've got a marketing, whole platform marketing system. It's designed to maximize your sales, supercharge the income. We've got lead magnets and everything that we're going to go over here that is all done for you. So I mean, that's really the most important part. If we look at this, if we take a step back and look at the target market, I mean, this is a massive niche market. 30 trillion in IRAs, are sitting out there, and it's not how hard you work. It's what's important is choosing your market. I think there's a saying that it's not how hard you row, it's what boat you're in, and how hard you row. So this is not a small niche market. I'm sure you've heard a lot of buzz, in the industry. The demand has been building, and we're excited to show you what we've come up with here for you. You want to, obviously, for the IRA owners, there's a massive problem going on with taxes. They want to work with a recognized expert in this market, and so not only does our platform showcase yourself as an expert, we're available to help you navigate this process with the client. And then again, underserved market. I think we've talked about it internally. I think that the status quo in the industry, working with fee-only advisors and advisors that only work on the investment side, there's no real incentive for them to engage their clients on Roth conversions. It's a lot of work, and really it's a massive opportunity because there's, again, huge demand for it. Folks that are staring down the barrel of RMDs are engaging and searching, for solutions, and they most likely brought it up with their existing advisor. That existing advisor may be just dinking and dunking along, right, with real small, conversions or none at all, and just trying to kind of steer them more in that direction of let it grow tax-free and go from there. But obviously, a motivated consumer is going to kind of be open to solutions, and we've got a great one for you. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Bob for this slide so he can tell you a little bit about his experience and how this really propelled, his business.
Well, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I mean, it started, let's see, in 2023, I got into digital marketing, and we were doing webinars, one a week. And, I got a call, I'll never forget, from my FMO who said, "Hey, I got to fly you out to Detroit in the middle of winter." I should have known right then that it probably wasn't a good idea. And, but anyway, we started doing the digital webinars, and we did one a week for that whole year. And for doing one a webinar a week and ending up with 1.7, 1.8 in FIA sales, I call that pretty abysmal. And so that's how we kind of, got into the digital marketing part of it. And then by accident, really just stumbled onto Roth conversions. And that's when things kind of really changed. And I think it changed for multiple reasons. One reason is just getting into the space. I mean, I think we doubled sales just by that alone, because all we had was a spreadsheet. Really was pretty rudimentary, from that standpoint. But we noticed that the size of the sales were substantially bigger. So I went back and looked at all the averages, and we averaged 374,000 per case, and that's like double probably of what the average annuity sale is. So you start to stack these things on top of one another, and I say 5 times the premium. It actually is more like 10 times, because we did, about not even 2 million the year before, and within 5 months we did 6.8. So, factor that in the rest of the months of the year, it's more like 10x. And there's my Athene commission there. But and I think one of the other factors that is huge that we're doing that that had a big impact on the reason I was able to do those kinds of numbers, is having a third party on a Zoom call. And Brian is our RothPro, and I mean, the guy's amazing. He just knows the software. He built the software. He knows how to close, and just having that third party there, even if they're not skilled, but having that third party there is a huge part of it. And so hopefully that gives you a little bit of context of how I was able to go from basically nothing, not a whole lot, to some great sales there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So really that was the impetus of what you're looking at here, and what has been built out, and the comprehensive solution that's here today, again, is significantly more than what Bob used to find himself in the right channel, right? His boat went from paddling upstream to paddling downstream, right, with the flow of demand that's there in the market. So with that, working with IAMS, this is a new offering. This is something that you've not seen anywhere else, I can guarantee you, because this is the first webinar that we're doing in conjunction with an FMO. So we couldn't be more excited about that. And we're able to illustrate the prospect's tax liability, current versus with that conversion solution. So that's you always need that contrast, and that's something that the carriers don't offer, right? The carriers don't offer a lot of support on this topic. They don't like getting into the details on tax liabilities and planning. So there really is a lot of need here for a solution that a consumer can understand, and something that you can get out there and pique interest with. The IRA owner themselves can save up to 64%, and they're supercharging their net worth with money they would have paid in taxes over time and compounding interest, right? Without having to take those RMDs, or at least less than that. As far as for the exciting news for the advisor, you can work with your existing clientele. People you may have in mind, you may have been hesitant to reach out to them because you don't really know where to start. You don't have a real clear, concise way to illustrate the solution. So all we're asking is 6 simple questions, and we'll go through what this is, because right now, this is obviously an advisor facing webinar. We are here to engage with advisors here in the month of December, before we roll out a slew of amazing extra programs, seminars, webinars, everything there. I mean, this is just for you, the advisor, to understand what this is, how it works, and it will give you, something that you can take back out to that prospect, bring back and work with. So with that, we'll create those 6 simple questions. We create a tax savings snapshot and this personalized Roth roadmap, which we'll go into. And then we've got, again, our Roth pros are available to help you, assist you on these calls. So there's not a lot of onboarding, there's not a lot of training. It's really a fact finder, a supplement to a regular, annuity illustration, and then we're there to help, actually, after we walk you through it, come back and walk the client through it with you, to assist you. So with that, and we wanted to make sure this was just a complete no-brainer, and work with IAMS to open up the door to collaborate with the advisors here that are interested in moving forward, engaging with us. The only ask is that we're going on the app for 10%. So there's no big sign-up fees, there's no monthlies, there's no boot camps. It's really straightforward, and that's something I think I would encourage you to take into consideration, because this is an offer that isn't going to be around for forever, in a really short amount of time, really. So this is the right month and the right time. So our system does, as it said, it'll help you sell this solution. And typically, like Bob mentioned, I mean, this is an average case size, that's just larger, right? It's a different market. This is the upper middle market. They have funds that are on the sidelines that they could use to accelerate this process, and we've got a great solution put together. So here's the 6 questions. So this is as simple as it is. So in the back of your mind, you may have 3 or 4 of these questions already answered, right, for existing clients. What's the prospect's age? What state do they live in? What's their household income? Total that they'd like to convert, or at least just a starting point, right? This is just a starting point. Tax filing status, in general, just generally broad swaths, just saying, single or joint. And then the estimated tax bracket in retirement. Again, there's no wrong answer here. I mean, if you've got 5 out of the 6 and we want to run on an assumption, just so that we can, put something like this together and open up the conversation, we totally expect to make adjustments to this as we go. So, and we've got a great way for you to do that here on the next slide. So we've got a QR code that will actually take you to a dedicated page that we've created for IAMS, in this offering, an opportunity. And so you can actually scan it right now. Just make sure it works. I checked it before. It was working for me. It should work for everybody. It's going to take you to a page that looks like it is there on the right hand side. And again, this is for you, the advisor. So we just want to be super clear. I mean, this is something that IAMS is really on the cutting edge on, as far as our collaboration, working together, and being able to jump into this without a lot of, again, fees and expenses and onboardings and subscriptions. This is set up so that you can put in your details, put in those 6 questions, and then you can also book a time to just go through it, right? It gives us about a little over 24 hours to just generate that tax savings snapshot. And then when you're booking that call, that is a call between yourself, Brian and myself, or whomever's available, right, to walk you through that tax savings snapshot. It's meant to essentially kind of it's a mini onboarding, right? It's about all you need, right? It's like, what am I looking at? We want to just do that with the numbers that you're providing us with one of your clients, so that it makes sense to you. And then the silver lining of all that is you're going to have a deliverable that you can take back and you can put in front of a prospect and move forward with, immediately. So we've got that QR code to the fact finder. We just showed that. The advisor, so this is, again, this part of the solution is for you, to help bring you up to speed. So the advisor completes that fact finder. Again, it's just your contact information and 6 questions. You may have that information at your fingertips, and if so, great. That's a great place to start. We'll generate that tax savings snapshot in Roadmap, and so again, that's something that you could turn around and immediately take back for to the prospect, and that's done for you. There's no training. There's no how do I run this type of deal. So after you review that, if that's something that you're motivated to get in front of your prospect, you're setting an appointment, with Brian on the phone, in most cases, and he's there to help. You don't have to be the expert, right? I mean, you're doing essentially the most valuable part of the transaction is that relationship, the trust, and what you have with your prospects and existing clientele. Bringing that to the table, getting into the nuts and bolts, as it's not always, I mean, that's something we're going to help you with. So, especially if you haven't done a lot of Roth conversions. So, and then as we go through that process, get this dialed in, we're collaborating with your wholesaler at IAMS. This is carrier agnostic, as long as we're working with a Roth conversion friendly carrier. What level of bonus, if you're using a bonus annuity, not using a bonus annuity, accumulation annuity, something in the middle there without a large fee, on it, with some of those bonuses in that mid-range, without, fee drag. This is something that we're agnostic on. You've probably got a preference if you've been in the market, and we can essentially provide the supplement to the illustration to match the carrier and product solution that you want to go with. And then at the end of the day, right, it's all about closing business, and that's what you mean. You'll see some platforms out there. They're a lot of them, I mean, they're activity based. Almost everything these days is activity based. We can run a campaign for you, we can generate leads, but at the end of the day, you could run hundreds of appointments and have a hard time closing business, right? I mean, activity isn't always equal to the results you're going to garner from that. So this is about making sure that we're converting, right? You want to convert, we need to convert. That's why we have a vested interest, and we're going on after that small amount. I'm going to just touch on this briefly, and then I'll hand this over to Brian. So the lead magnet, kind of deliverable is a tax savings snapshot. So based off those 6 questions that you put in, we're generating, there's 3 sections, simple sections to this one page: client assumptions, estimated lifetime outcomes, and estimated tax comparison. You can see, I mean, it's branded really nice, professional, easy to read, and just kind of showing that the contrast of what's there for them if they, on the channel that they're on versus, taking action and what they can achieve. So with that, let me hand it over to Brian, and he's going to take you through a couple of tax saving snapshots and show you exactly what this looks like and how simple it is, right? Again, this is very few things in this industry are built for, to simplify the complicated, for the consumer. Yeah, our industry is all day long they complicate things, and illustrations are really hard to read, right? This is meant to bridge the gap there. So if you guys can hand over the reins to Brian, he's got a couple of great examples to go through with you.
Thanks, Matt. Let me see if we get this second screen. That.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, let's see if I can. You see it doesn't show, it doesn't on my end. I can only see what I can't, I lose my screen. So do you guys see the Roth Roadmap there?
Yes.
With John Smith. I don't know why it got rid of my, hold on one second here, guys. I'm gonna try to share a different screen so I can still see you guys here. Give me one second. Technical difficulties, but we're gonna share. Okay, hold on. Now we'll change it back to that. There we go. That way I can see you guys and okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to go through this real quick. Hey, I'm Brian Lowry. I've been in the business for doing financial services for 20 some years, and hooked up with these guys a couple of years ago, and we're putting something together that I think is really valuable, really valuable. So to start with, I'm going to go over just a couple examples. So in this particular example, we got a $500,000 IRA. I think this is really normal. 500,000 IRA, adjusted AGI 100,000, single. Their tax rate at 5% for the state. federal marginal rate 12%. So they don't have huge taxes. If your income's around 100 grand, especially if you got quite a bit in Social Security, you don't have huge taxes. But look at what you've got, what you're looking at. So if you can imagine, if they're 73, right, they're starting right at RMDs there, and they're going to be forced to take money out. Some people might need that money, but they don't want to pay taxes on it. So we've got RMDs at 726,000. So if they have the money in the market, and we'll go through that in a second, then over time, every time that money comes out of the IRA, what do they got to do? They got to pay taxes, right? There's no way to avoid it. They got to pay state if they have state taxes, and they got to pay Fed. So their total taxes over the lifetime, this includes all the withdrawals and the inheritance, is going to be $356,000. So their post-tax value is $620. If they were to convert that to a Roth IRA over a 5-year time period, now they have no RMDs, although they may need income, and I've got an example of some income. But their conversion cost is a net of $109,000, and their post-tax value is $1.7 million. Here's the reason why. The reason why is it's now growing tax-free. So that money is allowed to grow tax-free, and if they're not taking any withdrawals, and of course you got a big balance at the end of it. So what you're really doing is you're trading the upfront cost, the upfront conversion cost, and you're paying that now instead of paying all of those taxes over time. And you can see that huge difference between those two tax bills. It's pretty wild how expensive the taxes have become. So here you got a current plan versus Roth, and you see like there's their current plan, and here's the RothReady plan. So our snapshot, the initial snapshot, is just a couple of pages, right? Right here's all you're going to get. Just going to get your first 3 pages here, and it's just enough to kind of get them interested. Okay, well, how does this work? What are we doing? What does this look like? And then if they're interested in talking to you after seeing the snapshot, we've got a full roadmap. And here's what the full roadmap goes through. So first off, this is their current plan versus their Roth plan. I took and went back and illustrated from the year 2000 to the year 24. It's a typical illustration. If you look at illustrations, they usually go back, especially investment illustrations, go back 25 years, 24 years. So here's their current plan. We're assuming here 70% in, actually I've got this flipped. Yeah, that's all right. Well, it still works. I got this 70% egg. This is if they're really conservative. So they're 70% bonds and 30% in stocks. It's even more dramatic if it's 70% stocks and 30% bonds. But just look at this, guys. Over time, right? If they're 73, they're forced to take RMDs. They're going to take out a total of $265,000 out of their balance. They're going to have an inheritance tax of $91,000 on the leftover $250 for a total lifetime tax of $356. So these numbers, right? You have to think about over time, like how much is this going to cost me over time? But here's a RothReady plan, and I love this. Look, if you could imagine this, if you could show someone how to convert their $500,000 in really the last year here is only 15,000, so this is really a 4-year plan. Their balance never goes below the 500,000 that they started with. This is an annuity with a theme, bonus annuity with a 13% bonus. Now you could use whatever you want. These do illustrate pretty good because you've got that upfront bonus to help offset the tax cost in conversion. We got an assumed rate of return of 6%. And you can, if you pull the illustrations, whatever illustration if you have a plan, you want, like Brian, I want to use this particular annuity. All you need to tell me from an illustrative point of view is just, well, what was the average return over the last 10 years? Go with that. And usually they're, 5, 6, 6.5%, somewhere in that realm. But if you look at this, guys, this is set up so that we don't cross that next tax bracket. So it's chunking up the conversion so that we don't hit the next tax bracket, try to keep it underneath that tax bracket. We're also working to keep the withdrawal rate for taxes less than the 10% free withdrawal. So this is all in-house. I want you to understand this. This conversion plan right here, there's no out of pocket. This is being done all within their IRA. So they move the money over to the Athene annuity, and then each year they're converting 100. Well, right here's the conversion amount, right? They're converting 108,000. So they're pulling out all the money to pay the taxes, and we still have, with interest, we still have 553 the first year, 542 the second year, 529, 516, and at the end of the conversion, when everything is all converted, they have $516,000 or $542,000. So let me ask you a question. How many people do you think out there would love to have this outcome? Because what does it do for them? Then any income they pull from this Roth IRA from that point forward is tax-free. Which is, in my opinion, it's a huge benefit. So here's the end of this. You got a tax bill of 174,000, but we've got this bonus offsetting, so you got a net tax bill of 109. And we got somebody, guys. Will you guys mute there? Somebody's got a background on their mic there. I don't know if there's anybody. Sounds like a plane.
Might want to try to mute. Oh, there we go. Got better.
There it was. Whoever it was just muted. You were the plane. All right. So post-tax value 1.75 million with 109,000. So I mean, look, the conversion cost on this one is about, if you're going to pay 109,000, right? You're about 25% of, or less than 25% actually, 20% cost. It's totally worth it. And I'm going to go through one more example, and then before I end, I'm going to show you an actual income planning example, which I've been working on. So this is going to get a lot more valuable as we head into January. We're going to add a lot more to it. So this, what you're looking at now, is just kind of the pre-launch version. But it's still very, very powerful. This is a huge deal if you can get somebody to convert under these circumstances. So let me switch to another one that's probably even more common. This is a smaller example where somebody makes a little bit less money, or they have a little bit less in their retirement. So this is a joint. So you got husband and wife now with a IRA of 250,000. Now, a lot of times if somebody puts these examples out, right, they have more than 250,000, but this is where they're like, well, what if I converted 250,000? What would that look like? Well, here's what it would look like. Again, we gotta, if you didn't convert, you're gonna have 335,000 in RMDs out of that 250,000, right? As it grows over time. 221,000 in taxes, you're gonna owe on that in a post-tax value of 448. If you convert it, you're basically doubling your outcome. You go from 448 to 827. Your tax conversion cost 68 grand over 5 years. Again, you're going to pay that conversion cost up front, but you're going to avoid all of these taxes over time. So let's just go through it. I'm going to flip right back down here to that current plan again. Okay. So again, over here, you got an income tax of 110,000 on a total income of 335. Total inheritance balance of 334 with a tax about the same, 110,000. So a lifetime tax of $221,000. So the goal is to avoid as much of these taxes as possible. Look at this, guys. Here again, your balance never drops below the 250. I think this is really, really important. One of the reasons that prospects, people, they're nervous to do a conversion because that cost is going to drag down the account. But if you do it over time and you've got a decent little bonus up front, we can work the math. So really their balance never dips below their initial starting balance. So they started at 250. They went to 280, 276, 272, 267, 257. So they got close. They got down here at the end here. But right after that conversion is done, boom, they're right back up to 273. This is the first year after conversion. I don't know about you, but I think this is a compelling reason to go ahead and convert this. And what did it cost you? Well, your net cost is $68,000. Guys, I think I want to show you now that I went through these two examples here real quick, I'm going to switch gears and I want to show you how it looks from an income perspective, because I think we all know, we're like, okay, well, there's no taxes on a Roth, but there's a lot more things that affects. So let me flip screens real quick, and this is coming. So this income planner I will have done. In fact, I finished this income plan this morning. That's how new this is. This got finished this morning. So this is a single person with a fairly high IRA balance who we're looking to convert, right? He's going to retire right at 65. He's got some big withdrawals. So this isn't RMDs. This is his withdrawals. So how many prospects or clients have you brought on board that had an IRA and they had Social Security, and that was all they had? In fact, my largest client fits this. She's Leslie. She's a tech. She retired from the tech industry. Was making $200,000+ a year, 250 maybe. Had over $1 million in her 401k. We moved it to an IRA. So she's got two sources of income: her IRA and Social Security. That's it. So I want you to look at this real quick and see what we got going on here. So if you can you guys all see that pretty well? I know it's kind of small. I don't know if I can make it a little bit bigger. You guys got it?
Yeah, I think for this purpose, I think you got it.
All right, I got it. Okay, good. All right, what I want to show you guys is this. Look, if you look at this is the Fed taxes, state taxes, and IRMA. And I put in here California. So this particular program will pull any state. I can do the taxes on any state in the union. It'll give you the very accurate. This is what they're going to pay out. You guys notice this IRMA here? This is the extra premium they're going to have to pay on their Medicare because they're 65, right? And they make too much money. So this particular report is really looks good for people that have high incomes. So let me go back down here. We got a total taxable income of $4,266,000. So I want you to remember that number. Total taxable income is $4,266,000. Total tax costs $1.16 million. Total effective cost 22%, and a net income of $4.1 million. So remember all of that. And I'll flip back again, but let's keep going. What if they converted that money? If they converted their IRA, what would their income look like? What would their tax table look like? Here is their taxable income after conversion. It's negative. Negative $23,000. Do you see the total taxes they're going to pay? Zero. Do you see the total state taxes they're going to pay? Zero. How much IRMA? Zero. Their taxable income went from $4 million to negative $467,000. I don't know if you guys are getting this. Hopefully this is like hitting you in the head a little bit. I don't know what to tell you. If this doesn't get you riled up, I don't know what will. Look, if your prospect, if the majority of their income is going to come from their IRA, which is a very large portion of the population, where their main income, if they're a high income earner, right, Social Security maxes out. It's not going to get that big, right? They might have 50. This person has 50,000 in Social Security coming in. That's actually pretty big. I don't really see Social Securities for a single anyway above 50 grand. Maybe you guys do, but I don't see it very often. So most of their income is coming out of their IRA. Again, my biggest client, that's where most of her income comes from. She pulls, quite a bit out of her IRA every year, and she does that to support her life. And and she's already in retirement and already rolling. Although I am going to talk to her about this. In fact, I got an appointment with her at 11 o'clock. And we're gonna talk a little bit about just what we're looking at right here. But I'm hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, here's the effective total taxes and costs, $0. So we went from, just to go back up here, remind you, woo, I know that it went crazy there. We went from 1.1 million in total costs to zero. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know what you want.
That's powerful.
I know what you
Well,
want.
yeah,
You want a
we
whole
got
bunch of
about 10
zeros?
minutes, so I'll give you
All
another
right.
minute or so, and then we'll keep rolling. But
Yeah,
Brian,
that's it. No,
amazing.
guys, I just want to end with that. I'm done. I'm done. You know, chopping my lips here, but
Off the soapbox, but it is, as you really dig into the numbers as deep as we have, it is very, very compelling. You know, and it really it's trying to just chew through this and put it in a format that is easy, as easy as it can be, right? To visualize and understand. So I mean, I think that's just really what we're trying to bridge the gap on. If you don't mind, if you can flip it back to me on the controls. Sorry to flip it back and forth. We'll just go through some client advantages, some advisor advantages, again, to this platform versus anything you might have seen, and then we will. I also shared a link to the fact finder, to the organizer, to IAMS, and they should be able to disseminate that out to everybody. So if you don't do QR codes, I understand. For a long time, I hated QR codes, but I think they're here to stay. So there is a direct link to get to the form as well, and we'll go through that at the end. So we went through the lead magnet. Now, again, if we just want to summarize, the RothReady advantage to clients, right? Just a simple before and after snapshot. That's what we're going to generate with you and the information you provide us, and walk you through it first, right? And again, this is something we want to collaborate with you on so that you understand. It does calculate the annuity bonus if that's incorporated for zero out of pocket. That's not always the case. Like, the client could have non-qualified funds that they want to service the taxes with. We can do any and all. But you've got all taxes, federal, state, RMDs, death taxes, and IRMA factored in. It shows the IRA owner how their post-tax IRA values don't go below their pre-tax IRA values in the instances that we just illustrated. Illustrates it, and compares how a negative sequence of returns. So inside of the detailed presentation, it'll go through, if we look at the last 25 years, here it is. But what happens if you start your retirement? I mean, the one thing you don't have control over, and that's the thing with these IRA owners is they want control. They don't know, they don't know what that number is. They just know the tax number is large. We're giving them that number. B, there's a lot of speculation on the market and the volatility that's there, and so this is a way for them to take control. And obviously the annuity is a great solution for that, for multiple reasons, to give them a floor, right? So where their portfolio is not going to take a big hit while they're taking these withdrawals and servicing the taxes. And then that, again, that roadmap really stress tests the IRA on the before and the after, right? Here's what it is if you don't take action. Here's what it is, if you do, with what we're presenting. If we go through advantages to the advisors, like we talked about, no boot camps or trainings to travel to, no software to buy or learn. Again, there's value in again, just generating. The only thing you really need, right, is what you can pique interest with, and a starting point, right? And that's what we've got here for you. In-house RothPro will co-present on the first appointment to help you close more deals. It's all about, the way we're set up is to bring deals across the finish line. It's not just about activity. It's about bringing deals to the finish line and getting them closed. We've got there's a lot of technology behind this, and we'll go into what's coming as far as a full marketing tech stack, and that we're going to be launching here next month. And I'll just roll right into it. And anyone that's been familiar with IAMS knows about their Ascend event that they have in January. So coming up in January, we're going to be going through our full marketing sales and tech stack, including seminar solution, webinar system, and in a way to on lead generation, whether that's digitally or through direct mail postcards. Right now, again, this is what's coming. But right now this is as simple as just I've got a guy, I've got a case, and bring it to us. But this is a very robust platform that we're putting a lot behind in partnership with IAMS. That same QR code that you guys are using for this advisor-based solution, that is incorporated in the consumer-facing side of this, whether it's a digital, again, or print funnel. And so that same technology is there for the prospects, and that's embedded in what's to come in 2026. That includes a quiz for the prospect to take. So essentially, that is the fact finder. So again, that's what's to come. I mean, that quiz, the net of that quiz is these 6 questions. I mean, it's a little more in depth than that. And right now, we're just asking that basic information from you. But what if you could send somebody a fact finder that's motivated and have them fill it out? And in our test markets and marketing that we've done, we've had an extremely high percentage of prospects that not only scan the QR code, but after they scan the QR code, they fill out the quiz. It's like 2 minutes later. There's no hesitation, right? If you really strike a chord with them, the quiz is a great way to have them complete the fact finder for us, have us generate that snapshot for you. And then Roth OS is a dashboard and CRM that really helps streamline that whole process. And again, this is all to come, and it's all built, it's all ready. Really, it's realistically, we just wanted to make sure we took the time here in December to engage directly with advisors, have this be as simple as possible to work with you on some cases that you have at your fingertips, and potentially get an extra deal across the finish line, right? Not a lot of time, but again, if it's a client that's a close client of yours, can we get it done before the end of the year? Yes, we can. It'd be tight. Or if it rolls into the beginning of January, so be it, right? That's still something that's set up for next year. We've got additional tools coming in throughout the year. We're adding improvements, every quarter. At the end of the year's, always a big deal though right now. So we're focused on that. I'm just going to keep rolling here as we're shorter on time. But the window of opportunity, the Tax Cuts the Jobs Act, could very well there could be rolled back in the next presidential election. So I mean, really. If whether you've got a 5-year plan or there's a way to do it in less than this 5 years, I mean, you want to take care of this, take action. Your client wants to take action and get the ball rolling, at the current tax rates that they are. So elevator pitch. So this is a great, I think a great takeaway for you. I mean, and this just sums up what Brian was saying, right? You can convert your entire taxable IRA to a tax-free Roth and pay $0 out of pocket, and stay in your current tax bracket, keeping your principal intact. Maintain your post-tax IRA account value, never falling below that value that you started with. And then with the money that you paid in taxes, you can double your IRA account value, right, over time, including that compounding interest, obviously. So just in recap, the advantage, in working and collaborating with us is that, we're calculating taxes, RMDs, death tax, and again, providing a solution that is very Roth conversion friendly. Again, we have more points on this, but even clients that otherwise may not be interested in an annuity within the Roth conversion. I mean, you've got that 5-year waiting period before you can draw from it, right? So the way the annuity is set up, it's very advantageous for Roth conversions, more so than just a standalone, annuity where you're not doing a Roth conversion. The optimization system, we're producing a done for you tax savings snapshot, like we mentioned. No software to learn. There's a full roadmap, right? The snapshot's meant to just peak interest and set that call, right? And come in, and then again have that third-party RothPro, on the Zoom call to help walk the client through it, answer their questions. Maybe they've got a tax professional, their enrolled agent, CPA, accountant, whatever that is. They may want to be in on the next call for some explanations, and we can help provide support on that. And then ultimately, it's just we're rolling this out with IAMS here. You guys are seeing this for the first time, and we've got a platform. We've got right now, right? The action item is just the fact finder that you fill out, the 6 questions for you to provide us, for us to generate a snapshot and set a call with us, right? That's between yourself and us. To go through the details on it. You can ask, fire away, questions, whatever you need to gain clarity on the situation. The QR code, and I'll go ahead and click on this here in a minute and just kind of fill it out so that we've got, you'll see exactly what this is. You can scan the QR code. Hopefully through the organizers, they have, I'm going to put this link in here again. So hopefully they can share the clickable link with you so that you have it. And then I'm going to actually just go ahead and pull it up right now. And let's go through it. Here it is.
Experiencing technical difficulties.
Matt.
Matt's gone.
All right.
All right.
Well, Brian, there is a question in here. And yeah, an advisor has a question if we can talk more about the break even and how to explain that to a client, because they have found that they like to know what that is so that they can determine the benefit for themselves.
When they say break even, what do they mean by that? Like,
great question. I'm just reading this. Yeah, no question. Where you show the break even to the client, I have found that they like to know that is so that they can determine the benefit for themselves.
well, so I mean, the tax costs consequences of the conversion are going to be lower than the taxes they would pay on their money over time. Not exactly sure what the break even point means, but I'll have to talk to that advisor and have them go through a scenario with me.
Yeah, and I have your information or the advisor's information.
Yeah.
We can get in touch and get the answer question.
Yeah, the best way for you to evaluate this is to take some scenarios through it. Go through some scenarios. You've got I mean, there's a huge disparity between what people make and how much money they have and all that. I can tell you this just as an example. If somebody only makes $50,000 a year and they have Social Security, I guess this might be their question. If they have Social
Cost
Security
versus tax savings.
Yeah, I mean, so where the cost versus tax savings starts to break even is when their income is really low. They don't have a lot of income. They don't have a lot of federal tax liability. But keep in mind, guys, tax liability right now, the effective tax rates for most Americans is the lowest it's been in history. I've been going through these. I stare at these tax numbers daily now. I mean, I spend hours because I've been working on expanding our program. And I can tell you that the effective tax rates for most Americans today is pitifully low. I mean, it's incredibly low. But with a $37 trillion, $36 trillion federal debt, it's not going to stay low. So if they want to do their conversion, they do it now. Because here's the question I would ask every one of your prospects. How much are they going to pay in taxes 20 years from now? I don't know, but a lot more than they pay today. And the only way they can guarantee that they won't be paying through the nose is to convert. That's it. But again, from just a short-term thinking, definitely if they don't make very much money, then conversions don't really make that much sense. The more money a person makes and the larger the balances, the more a Roth conversion makes sense. I mean, it gets ugly when their income gets above 200 grand, 250 even. Their tax liability jumps way up. And not only do they pay tax liability, but they've got that nasty IRMA. They've got high Social Security tax. Their tax liability on the Social Security goes up, yada, yada, yada. So it's like it reverses. And everything gets more expensive. So anyway, that's my answer.
Yeah, no, thank you. And with that being said, I'm going to launch the last poll of today. And I know we're a little over time. So if there is any final questions, certainly get them into those questions box. And if we're not able to answer them today, we'll get with you. But yeah, no, last poll question of the day. Would you like more information or get registered with RothReady? Yeah, no, if you answer yes to this, certainly reach out. We'll send you the recording. More information on the RothReady, and if you'd like to set up time with Brian, Robert, or Matt, we can certainly get that scheduled on the calendar. And yeah, no, thank you everyone for your participation. I'll keep it going for about another 15 seconds. Doesn't look like we have any additional questions right now, but if there's 1 or 2 questions out there, don't hesitate to type them in. But yeah, no, with that being said, is there any final comments you want to add, Brian, before we get everyone on their way with their Wednesday?
Yeah, I just want to say this, guys. There's 2 big things that RothReady brings to the table. The first one is, this great illustration of what a Roth conversion look like. The second is you get me talking to your prospect. And the important part of that is I'm the subject matter expert, meaning they can bring their CPA on. The CPA can ask me any tax question they want. When it comes to taxes and tax liability, I'm pretty astute, pretty quick on it. So I'm not afraid to talk to their CPA. If they want to bring the CPA on, let's do it. Let's go over the numbers. But I think that's a big deal. Anytime I've had a subject matter expert on a call with mine, my closing ratio goes through the roof. Just having somebody else there besides me saying everything. You got someone else to come in and answer questions for you.
Certainly. Yeah, no, thank you for that, Brian. So yeah, no, everyone in attendance, if you have any questions on IAMS, RothReady, etc., don't hesitate to give your sales director here a call, or you can certainly reach out to myself or Laura. We'd be more than happy to get those questions answered. And yeah, no, we're a little over time today, so I want to get everyone on with their Wednesday. And yeah, no, thank you, Brian, again for our continued relationship. Look forward to it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, everyone. Thank you.